Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we show you a touching tribute to the 4 people who died in a Bell County house fire earlier this week.
And we go to Leslie County, where we learned new information about a 2017 crash that left 1 woman dead and another behind bars.
Plus, in Floyd County, a lawsuit is being filed on behalf of a Pike County man who was killed last year after high winds swept the roof off a building and onto the man's car.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:32 on January 9th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on to this Thursday.
On this Friday Eve, that's how we like to think of it around here. And so this weekend there's a basketball game. There's some high school basketball, but it's going to be a little rainy.
Yeah, a good time to be in the gym, though.
It is. It is. A good thing it's not football season. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, so you're saying it's going to be scattered, though, so we might see some sun throughout.
It's possible. It is possible. We're definitely going to see some warmer temperatures than we're accustomed to seeing this time of the year. Maybe record-breaking temperatures on Saturday and close to it today. Let's take a look and see what's going on right now across the region. Buffalo Mountain, all quiet here. You see the moon right there between the trees in the distance, starting to kind of set there on the horizon this morning. You see temperatures that are still pretty chilly, but right at freezing or just below. Only a couple of spots above there. Logan and Wise both above. Jackson just above, along with Monticello. Everybody else there right at freezing or below. But the warmer air is coming. Paducah already at 47. Nashville at 38. Owensboro at 40 this morning. Those winds cranking in out of the south and southeast. They're starting to shift now. You see more toward the south, out toward western Kentucky. But there's still frost this morning, so keep that in mind. Give yourself an extra couple minutes if you scrape your cars, or give yourself an extra couple minutes to get them warmed up. A little extra on the coffee meter, bordering on max warming needed. And your 12-hour planner, well, it's looking pretty good. 59 later today, maybe overachieving just a little bit in some areas with sun and clouds. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Madison?
Thank you, Brandon. Well, quite the sight yesterday at Bell Central School, and students banding together in the face of adversity. Hard
lessons learned in the halls and outside the school walls where their 3 classmates once walked with them. A fire earlier this week killed Beulah Mullins and her grandchildren, Sierra, Cynthia, and Sean Posey.
There's an outpouring of support from Bell County as friends and teachers honor their lives. WYMT's Connor James brings more on that part of the story.
Wednesday morning, Amazing Grace echoed through the halls of Bell Central.
I mean, they may not have had a lot of extra things in life, but they did have love for each other.
The song welcomed in students and staff, many of them carrying around the weight of loss.
It's just sad.
Their singing happening only feet away from a memorial eternalizing their 3 classmates whose lives were lost in a fire Tuesday.
She was always so friendly, had such a compassionate heart.
Kayla Johnson is Sierra Posey's teacher.
I don't think I ever heard her say a negative word to anybody. I mean, she truly was just as sweet and just a humble child.
Sierra was the big sister, Cynthia a year younger, and Sean 8 years old. Lisa Johnson taught them all.
At one point in time, but Sean was in my homeroom.
All 3 left a lasting impression here.
They were all, not just Sean, the girls always had a smile. They bounced down the hallway. They were just happy kids.
Their death leaves a space in many hearts that'll remain empty.
But they were good kids. Little rays of sunshine. They were little rays of sunshine.
But the reminder of the lights they were will keep that same empty space lit. In Bell County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, funeral arrangements have not been set yet, and as for the 4 bodies are in Frankfort for an autopsy. But once they return back home to the mountains, the school is working to pay for the 4's funeral.
Well, Tuesday morning, a house fire took the lives of Beulah Mullins and her 3 grandchildren. Yesterday, their classmates released balloons to say their goodbyes. It is hard for Principal Blankenship to watch her young students process this, but she's glad they can do it here.
There's a song. It may look like we're surrounded, but we're surrounded by God, because that's how we fight our battles in this school.
Bell Central is collecting money for the funeral costs, as Madison said. If you want to help, you can drop off money at the school or mail it to them. They will take it to the funeral home.
And yesterday, we learned of a lawsuit on behalf of a Pike County man killed in Prestonsburg last summer. In May, high winds ripped a roof off a building being renovated in the city. This is video of that scene, and the roof landed on a car, killing Michael Coleman. The storm, which lasted just a few minutes, uprooted trees and blew the roof off an old Hawk Shop building. Mountain Comprehensive Care Center now owns that building, and the lawsuit claims negligence against MCCC and Castle's Roofing and Siding. Lawyers representing the family say MCCC failed to mark or post a warning about the hazards of the building remodel. They also say the roofing company failed to properly repair or replace the roof.
Well, let's head west to Pulaski County. That's where police say a murder suspect turned a gun on himself. Deputies say 33-year-old Bobby Eldridge killed his wife back in October before shooting himself. He survived his injuries and was taken to UK Medical Center. It's not clear when he was released from the hospital, but deputies say they were trying to serve a murder warrant at a hotel in Somerset yesterday. That's when they say Eldridge shot himself again, this time fatally.
And in Leslie County, new information about a deadly crash in 2017. Alyssa Noble faces murder, assault, and DUI charges. Paige Hayes died in that crash when the car Noble was driving hit her.
Now, during yesterday's hearing, a state trooper testified about how fast Noble might have been going. WYMT's Lacey Roberts shares some of that testimony.
They say time heals all wounds.
I don't know when that time's coming.
Louise Johnson, Paige Hayes' mother, has not been the same since her death. This being the first time she's felt hope.
I feel good. At least we're not sitting and just waiting, because waiting will drive you crazy.
Wednesday, Martin Hunter, a lieutenant with Kentucky State Police, testified to the speed of Alyssa Noble's vehicle.
We respond to scenes, look at tire marks, skid marks, gouges, look at the vehicles themselves, look at the operators, the roadways.
Hunter, in charge of training for crash reconstruction for all troopers in Kentucky, coordinates cases throughout the state to ensure they are complete.
Detective Caldwell and I discussed how to determine speed through the video, measure a distance, and time, how much time it takes a vehicle, a person, or an object to travel the distance. Do some very basic math.
From this, they came up with the average speed traveled.
Told him how to check himself by driving a cruiser through the same camera, use stopwatches, time it, use the same method that we use to determine speed from Noble.
Which they say produced the slowest average speed at 40 miles per hour and the highest average speed at 47 miles per hour.
If you fly down the street that's 25 miles an hour, something bad's going to happen.
A step in the right direction.
I'm glad that we've got another court date set. We had one set last year and it didn't go through.
Noble is set to appear in court July 21st. In Leslie County, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Paige Hayes' parents say this was the worst holiday season they have had since Paige's death. Noble's trial is expected to begin in July.
And also in Leslie County, we now know a trial date in a high-profile murder case. Police say in December of 2018, Paul Douglas Sizemore killed 3 people and attempted to kill another man. They captured him following several days of searching, and his trial date is set for February 7th.
A Knott County man is behind bars on child porn charges. It all happened in the Sassafras community. 39-year-old Elvis Stamper was arrested after an online sting. Troopers say they found that he was, quote, communicating and exchanging images with a female juvenile, unquote. Stamper was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail.
And Elizabethtown police are working to develop a new crime-fighting tool, a database of surveillance cameras around the city. The department is asking homes and businesses with cameras to sign up for their virtual Eyes on Crime program. People fill in their information online, and if a crime happens nearby, police may call them up to check their footage. It's completely voluntary, and police must always ask permission before accessing participant surveillance systems.
641, good morning to you. Temperatures slowly climbing across the region, but still cold this morning, so bundle up as you head out. Don't wear too many layers. You'll be shedding them later today. 20s and 30s across the region. 41 now. Wise, they're up 9 degrees from this time yesterday morning. Everybody else still down a few degrees. Ashland and Middlesboro, the winners, have been the coldest compared to yesterday at 11 and 15 degrees colder respectively. Your out the door forecast today is going to feature temperatures that climb quickly. Some early sunshine gives way to some sunshine mixed with clouds, and then more clouds overall as we head toward the evening hours. But 59, the forecast high, could reach 60 or above in some locations. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning.
Here's a look at what's ahead. Later, we'll share the story of one Iranian American here in Kentucky who says rising tensions has him worried about family back in Iran.
And we'll show you how some community members in Louisville are coming together to pray for peace.